Hello everybody. My name is Marshall Frank. I am a retired police officer, retired at the rank of captain. Spent my 30 years on the job in Miami-Dade, Florida, where most of my service was in investigations and homicide. Since retiring, I got into the writing field as well as music, but pretty intensively in the writing field, and I've written a number of novels and nonfiction books and things like that. But one of the things that was important to me as time went on, following my retirement, and especially since 9/11, was to understand that the threat to our world and our nation by radical Islam and by the jihadists that want to destroy us is very real. And I started doing extensive research on that. I wrote a book in 2007 titled Militant Islam in America. And as time went on, I continued to study, and I studied many authorities on the subject, read many books on the topic, and began to realize that the promises that the jihadists have made are true to themselves. They intend on destroying Western civilization from within. So I wrote the book recently, just been released, titled Amerikistan: Conquest from Within. I'd like to repeat that title. You can pronounce it Amerikistan if you want, but Amerikistan: Conquest from Within. Remember those words. This isn't a book I really wanted to write. As a matter of fact, I took 2 years to do this because I stopped and started and stopped and started and got on other projects, and just it was like, I don't know if I really want to write this book. It certainly wasn't written for monetary purposes, because I don't expect, as most authors, to receive a lot of money from this, and most of the money that I will get out of this book will be reinvested into more inventory and more marketing, because it's most important to me is the mission. The mission is most important, the mission being to get the information out to the people of the United States and to Europe and to other parts of the world, the free world, to let them know that this isn't just about terrorism. All right, there's a lot more going on here than terrorists. To give you an example, in 2004, the federal agents of the United States raided a house in Virginia. And they found in the sub-basement of this house, which was owned by a member or hierarchy of the Muslim Brotherhood, scores of documents that were very threatening to the United States. And in one of these, called the Explanatory Memorandum of the Muslim Brotherhood in North America, it specifically outlined how they intend on destroying the miserable house of Western civilization from within. So those words, from within, were very important in the title of this book, because everything they said they were going to do is happening. But all we pay attention to is the next terrorist attack in whatever city it's going to be in. And of course, they are horrible things, but we're losing sight of the big picture. Sometimes I refer to it as, if you got a house full of roaches, you're not going to get rid of them by killing a roach here and there. You have to find the nest. And what we're not doing is we're not finding the nest. We're not getting to the heart of the problem. And these people, especially the jihadists, definitely, without question, intend on conquering Western civilization, and with those words, from within. And that doesn't necessarily mean we're talking about bombs and airplanes and guns. We're also talking about jihadists who are nonviolent. We're talking about jihadists who wear suits and ties, who work in banks and universities and other places, because all the money that they filter to Hamas, Hezbollah, Al-Qaeda, ISIS, all these other organizations, all the monies that they filter, that makes them jihadists just as well. But we're not paying much attention to them. It doesn't seem like. So I felt it was my mission. I was compelled to share what I know and what I've learned. One of the most important people I knew in my investigative days in Dade County was Dr. Joe Davis. He was the medical examiner of Dade County for 40 years, a good friend and a great guy. He has since passed away. but he was one of the greatest medical examiners the country ever had. And he said to me one time, because we were friends, he said, "Marshall, follow the evidence. Don't get distracted. Always follow the evidence. Go where the evidence takes you, and there you will find truth." So if you do just what I did, and you started following the evidence, is there really an effort going on to conquer us from within? Are there people that are infiltrating our government and our institutions and our infrastructure for their own selfish and jihadi purposes? What's happening with all these refugees that are coming over into Europe and flooding eventually North America and other places where they really don't assimilate? So I can't recite the whole book in one little videotape, but I can tell you that the effort is there, the mission is on its way. There is another document called The Project. It was uncovered in 2001 in the home of in a Swiss home where a hierarchy of the Muslim Brotherhood was living. And this was also hidden away, and the project basically outlined basically step by step how the Muslim Brotherhood intended on going about the conquest of America, how to make true the organization that intends on destroying America from within. And it's happening. I did finally finish the book. My intention is to share the information with my friends, my fellow Americans, and hopefully that it'll pass it around. Don't buy more books. Loan them out to everybody. It doesn't matter. This isn't a money project. I'm not making this video or putting this book out as an effort to become rich, because I know that's not going to happen. But what can happen is that millions and millions of people will learn what they didn't know before, that the conquest from within is taking place right now as I'm speaking. And it's right under our noses. And it's right under the noses of our government and our media. It's really happening. And very few people are willing to talk about it or say anything about it. And it has to be said, and you have to know. So please, America stand, conquest from within. Thank you.